Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome or welcome back. How are you doing? We are sitting in this second full moon of Sagittarius portal. We have been in it for a while. A lot of us that are really, really sensitive usually feel this about, I would say, 3 days before, for sure. You're in it 5 and 7 days. So up to 5 to 7 days before this, in this portal energy. There's a lot expanding and changing and dying off in the collective consciousness, a lot of purging, a lot of releasing. You yourself might be one that is here to help purge some really dark shadows in the energetic field of the collective consciousness that goes millennia back to Lemuria, back to Atlantis, the travesties and perpetrations that took place in those timelines. So you might be feeling that emotionally, you might be feeling that in the physical body, you might just be feeling maybe some panic, some anxiety. Just allow those emotions to flow, rest when needed. Again, have a lot of grace and compassion, and you don't always have to understand where it's coming from, just allow it to move through you. And just breathe. All right, you're also probably seeing numbers like I have, like 811, right before I hit record, 911, 211, 311. You're seeing a lot of numbers with the 11s behind it. I've been seeing this particular codex combination for a while now. And again, looking at some numbers, and like I said, I hit record before at 811. I was looking at some numbers in my Garmin, and there's 911, 919. And again, of course, you see all the other numbers, okay? All right, that just means that you're in alignment, and if you're not in alignment, they're also trying to get your attention. So why am I here? Well, I'm giving an update on my back situation. It's a little better. There's a lot of things that are taking place in my physical body. I've been purging as well with the collective, emotional purging, physical purging, collective consciousness. And you might ask why? Because you forgot. You forgot that you were strong enough, that you signed up for this part of your contract. We have many contracts here. A lot of us galactic, intergalactic souls, us star seeds that are part of the star seed program that started incarnating in the 50s, late 40s, early 50s, 60s, and so on and so forth, in many, many waves. Some of us signed up as part of our contract, and I'm here to remind you that you just forgot because you went through the veil of amnesia, the veil of forgetting, and now you're remembering. That part of us, are here bridges, anchors of light, foundation excavators, foundation builders. And we also came here, like I said, the generational stuff is not just your personal lineage, it's collective lineage as well. As a low-flying plane flies overhead. Story of my life here. Directly overhead. Just know that if you're a particular frequency and energy, more than likely you've been tracked since before you came down here. But that's fine. Now that you're awake, you know you're unstoppable. You're unfuckable with. Stand in your power and own it. Okay? Like I've said, bring it. Come fuck with my spirit team. They stand 10 toes down. Come find out. Here to kick ass and chew gum when they're fresh out of gum. And more than likely, you have a kick-ass spirit team as well. And you're awake now. So because you're awake and you have knowledge and power and wisdom, you know how fucking powerful you are. And if you don't, guess what? I'm here to remind you of your power, your magic, your magnificence, right? You are infinite God, goddess, being. Yes, we did come here. We chose to incarnate here to help clear, to purge, to build what is coming, what has been coming. All right. And so, yes, going back to what you might be feeling in your physical body, physical stuff, purging, tightness, tension, old injuries coming up. And I think, I had this, again, an aha moment as we do, that some of us are here, not that we're better, that we're just, our souls are more ancient, more wise, and a little bit stronger because we've done this before. We've gone through ascension processes before, even though we don't remember it. But we chose to say, yep, we're going to stand on the very front lines, holding the shields, taking the blows, and then coming back up. I use this analogy like one of those windsock dolls that you see outside of places where you get knocked down, but you're like, I'm back, bitch, stronger each time. So some of us chose this, like to hold this and to purge certain collective energy generationally back, you know, so you're probably feeling it in the physical body, and you know, well, this is, I've been doing all the work, I've cleared all my shit up, like for the most part. We all have stuff come up, I've done the inner child work, I've done all this work. Why is this? It's because now you're strong enough and you have remembered your master ability, because you are a master, your master ability of alchemizing and transmuting energy. Okay, so that's part of it. Like, you know, when it hits your physical body, what that feels like. You know how to transmute it, you know how to sit with it, you know how to release it. So some of us came here for that exact reason. Many reasons we came here. There's never just one. We have many contracts, many. But I came to the conclusion yesterday that some of our souls, again, it doesn't make one any better, that are just stronger, more wise, more trained. We have more training, we have more skills, that we're able to take these punches, that we're able to transmute this energy and alchemize it, so that those behind us that are starting to wake up don't have to take a bigger brunt. They get less of a brunt. Doesn't mean they're not having to go through their own stuff and the work, because that's necessary, but we just take a little bit off the top for them, is what Source says. We just take a little bit off the top to make it a little bit easier for them, and it still allows them to be able to go through it with a little more ease and grace, I guess, is if you can say, going through dark nights of the soul and death and rebirths. All right, and just have a lot of ease and grace and surrender. So if you're still here, you're meant to hear this next part, you know, because you resonate with my frequency, my energy, my messages, my channel, my information. So again, I've been looking back at my journals, and again, part of this journey, I would say journal. And again, this is just in the moment stuff. It can be stuff that you're seeing, you're creating, you know, maybe like what I've been using with my sacred algorithm, just going down and getting different affirmations and activations. These are different things, and you can just like little blurbs and things. So last year at this time, because again, we've got, this is very rare. I think the next one was scheduled in 2028 for the second, where we'll have 2 full moons in 1 month, probably May again. There's significance to that year, because I believe that is the ending of certain things, like complete shutdown of certain things. But don't quote me on that. Again, timelines are constantly shifting and speeding up. So just breathe into this energy, this frequency. So around this time last year, because I've had last year around this beginning of last year into up till May, end of May, June of last year, I had a lot of energy healing work. I had a lot of Reiki, a lot of intuitive massages. I had past life regression. I was getting really deep into this dark night of the soul journey, this void space. And then I ended up with, and again, I don't get sick because I take care of my vessel. I keep my detox pathways open. I eat, I nourish my body, I hydrate my body, I fill my body with nourishment from nature. And I also had been at this point, had already been transitioned by January of last year into full whole food plant-based, as part of this getting back in touch to my intuitive eating and purging and cleansing and detoxing. All right, so some of you might be experiencing that currently, and that's part of the process. There's a reason for it, why you're being called or having symptoms or aversions to specific foods at this point, or you're called to eat other things that maybe you have never called to eat before. So getting to the meat of this information, and I just want to share a little bit. So around this time last year, I went through about a 3 or 4 week really intense purge and detox, upper lower respiratory infection, heart chakra and throat chakra and upper chakra. So it was all my upper chakra system. It was both systems. I had a hard time breathing. I remember back on it, I've noted some stuff, and it's good just kind of to reflect sometimes. I had a hard time breathing. I couldn't eat anything, like nothing sounded good. If I ate something, I would get upset stomach. There was a lot of just, like even my watermelon at the time was a struggle to get even nourishment in. And I knew there was a reason for this. It's purge. It was a massive purge and detox in my own stuff. And last year at this time, a lot of other people in the collective were going through, their awakening, confirmation birth as well. in cleansing and clearing. So last year I had a hard time, like I just couldn't sleep, I couldn't breathe. Because I couldn't breathe, I couldn't like meditate. It was really hard to calm my mind because my ego was freaking out, because my ego was like starting to lose validity in the story. All right, so the ego was kicking and screaming pretty hard around this time. So I wasn't sleeping great. So I was having strange sensations in my body. I'm just going to read some stuff from my journal from last year. I was having strange sensations and it was hard to describe. I understand these sensations now because I know when they come up, a lot of panic, a lot of anxiety, a lot of nervousness, but I don't usually myself personally. So this was stuff that was being dug up deep within that was coming out. And it was feeling really weird. My ears were really plugged. Again, I couldn't hardly hear. There's a whole, like I said, system purge and detox to clear space for the upgrades that I have received since, okay? All right, so I took, I just moved when I felt called to. I did a lot of resting. I felt really lost at that time. I had nobody. My kiddo, he's, my oldest, she's doing her own thing, living her life. And we have a second low-flying plane. At 11:11. And they're flying pretty much directly over me, and they didn't start coming out until I came out here. So there is no coincidence. My energy and frequency has been tracked, and since I've awoken, I've noticed other things begin. I am unfuckable with. I'm untouchable. Know that. So let them play their stupid games, because people that play stupid games get stupid prizes, and you don't need to worry about that. Source handles all of that. And there's somebody needs to hear that, okay? So don't get caught up in that, okay? So I was feeling really lost. I had nobody, zero. And at this time, shit hit the fan about a month and a half, like 5 weeks before, 4 weeks before, somewhere in there, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, I don't know, with me and my partner, which triggered my awakening. All right, so I was feeling really lost, really displaced, just so like confused in this darkness and in this just wondering what is next. Like, what is next, right? And you might be feeling that now. Maybe this is just confirmation of what you've gone through. Maybe you're just coming out of that. And I said, I think my ego is struggling. And I know my ego was slowly starting to lose its grip on the forefront. So my soul walks forward. My soul leads and guides me in every now present moment. My ego has a nice comfortable seat in the back seat, enjoying the view, kicking its legs like a little child, just enjoying the ride, okay? It took a while for the ego to get there, but again, we're not here to kill the ego. We're here to kind of just let the ego know it's okay. It's the soul. It's time for you. Got us. Thank you. You got us here. You've kept us safe. We've survived. Now it's time to take literally the back seat and let the soul lead and guide, because the soul knows where to take it from here. Okay, so my human was really struggling, because my ego was really struggling. Like, it was so quiet, so just nothingness, like just darkness. And so I had to learn that. I wrote patience, but this is before I learned to become more present with what was taking place in my field, in my physical body, my mental, emotional body, my spiritual body. Now I say, don't try to be patient, get present, because when you get presence, the patience there is no reason to be patient, because everything is happening now. It's like really like, because the ego is still trying to figure out what's next. And again, it's still surrendering in that you don't need to know the what, the why, the where, the when, the how. It's on a need-to-know basis, Source says, and sometimes for some of us, that can be part of your lesson, okay? And I wrote, it feels like I wanted to crawl out of my skin at that time. I remember to a degree, because like I've evolved so much since then, I'm not even close to that same person anymore, but I just want to share that you might be feeling like you want to crawl out of your skin. Well, that's a good thing, because last year was the year of the snake, so you were shedding. So what does a snake do? It crawls out of its skin. So you're literally, if you're feeling like you want to crawl out of your skin, you're itching, you're shedding layers and layers. It's like that onion. You're just getting layers and layers deeper to get to that center. And I know an onion's not a great thing that you want to consume, but it's like, oh, that's a great analogy. So it's like, Source just dropped in. It's like getting to the center of a Tootsie Pop. Or like what else came through was like the gobstopper, like the different colors of the gobstopper. If you know gobstoppers, that the rings would constantly change, and you kept dissolving until you got to that very middle part. That's for somebody that just came through. I love how those little nuggets of information come through. So I kept saying, what's next? I wrote it, I verbalized it, I wrote, what's next, Source, what's next, what's next? I just put it out into the field, I wrote it in the field. All right, food was, like I said, it was a challenge at that time. Nothing sounds good, nothing seems good. I know what I want, I know what I deserve, and I desired in a partnership, in a relationship, not knowing that me and my partner were just literally on a physical pause, per the universe, per Source. She's like, you all got to do some work before you can move into your highest timeline together, united. So again, I was struggling with that because a lot took place. A lot of work was starting to unfold at this point, a lot of excavation, and had spent the last 18 months to 2 years just going deeper and deeper and deeper and digging and cleansing and clearing and getting to a fertile ground, okay? All right, let me see here. So again, just reminding you just to keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep crawling, just keep getting up and dusting yourself off, even if it's slow, even if it's like sobbing and crying and puking and purging and all of that. Just keep moving forward. Don't set camp up. Again, hang out there for a little bit. Do the sacred work, because this is sacred fucking work. I'm telling you, this is so sacred that I can't even put into human words that what you are going through, what you have been through, and what I have gone through, and what the collective is going through, individually and together. This is so sacred. This has never taken place. This is why Earth and this experience, what's taking place, is so basically televised, if one say, across many universes outside of ours. There's a uniqueness to what is taking place right now because it has never taken place before. Okay? All right, so keep putting one foot in front of the other, one step at a time. Smile. Lai. Wishnatiria. I love you. Say, I love you. I love you, Tanya. I love you. Say your name. I love you. Smile because you are a star. You are a star. Trust in the process. Trust in the journey. Enjoy the journey in each moment, even in those uncomfortable spaces, because there's gratitude there. I promise you, if you just sit with gratitude and trust and faith and love, even if it's the faith of a mustard seed, and surrender. It's a constant surrender. There are moments where you don't really have to have days that feel like you need to surrender, and there are some days where you're just like, take me now, type of surrender. And those are the moments. All right, so surrender to the flow. Surrender to the flow. I surrender to the flow. I trust the process. I have faith that everything is working out for me and has worked out for me and will continue to work out for me. I love myself. I have grace and compassion for myself. And remember, there's always, always, always something to be grateful for. I mean, are you kidding me? I live in an apartment. I live in a ground level apartment. Sources had me protected for 11 years underground, literally undercover. I've been undercover, an undercover agent, undercover agent. Of course, I'm not so undercover as much, posting videos, but again, I've been undercover. I've been protected by all these beautiful nature elements, the squirrels, the trees, right? We have a very symbiotic relationship as I continue to feed them because they're looking for their morning peanuts. Right? All right. So just know that even in those moments that you have a home, there's so much to be grateful for. Like, I am so grateful for being able to just step outside of my house. There's a third. So things are in threes. We're here 1903 in, and that is the third time this plane has done a loop. And it actually just passed the sun. That was the shadow from it crossing in right in front of the sun. To sources right here. So being grateful in these moments when I was feeling like this, that I could literally just come outside and sit in the shade, and that's what I did. I listened to high frequency music, I listened to super conscious podcasts, or I just listened to nature. And I got through it. It was a struggle. It was about 3 to 4 weeks, and then things shifted and started to change back into the direction of the reconnection of the sacred pause at my partner, and everything just kept unfolding and unfolding from there. So just know that there's always, always something to be grateful for. I'm grateful for you for hitting play and listening to this all the way through and receiving the frequencies, the energies, the codes, the healing, the activations, whatever your soul was ready to receive from this information, from the human aspect and from the soul level aspect. And know that you are stronger than you think. Hold your passion and know that change is in the wind. Change is here and change is in the wind. Comment in the air tonight, Phil Collins. That's been a big download over this entire process, but I'm looking down. It says change in the wind. Know your strength. Know your passion. Continue to listen in guidance of your higher. Let your highest lead and guide you in every present moment and watch your reality shift. So know that change is in the wind. Let spirit lead you and guide you. Say, I let spirit lead and guide me. I let my highest lead and guide me in every now present moment. All right? And trust, surrender. Surrender without boundaries. Sorry, surrender without borders. Where's the trust without borders? Sorry, I can't read my own handwriting. Let me walk upon the waters. Geese, which I never have, fly over either. And they're in a group. They're going to fly overhead. 211 on the timer. And geese have been spirit family codes, so birds are significant. I'm going to see how many there are. But let me walk upon the waters. Let me walk upon the waters. Take me deeper than my feet can ever wander. My faith will be made stronger in the presence of my soul. Take me, let me walk upon the waters wherever you could call me. Take me deeper than my feet could ever wander. My faith will be made stronger in the presence of my soul. Rest, restart, reset, refocus, reboot. Rest, restart, reset, refocus, and reboot, because that's what's probably taken place in some way, shape, or form on all aspects. So look up 2206 on the timer. All right. And just ride the waves, the highs, the lows, and the in-betweens. And just be with whatever sensations, feelings, emotions that are coming up right now. Okay? It's so important just to be in the moment, be still with what is happening. And maybe you have all the energy. That's great. Be with that. Create from that. And if you're in my position where you have a strained intercostal, if you know, those are those muscles in between your rib cages, it makes it hard to breathe and to move and to rotate and all of that. You don't realize how much those muscles get used until you can't quite use them the way you want to. So just be with whatever is coming up. And the less you hyper focus on something, or the less you allow the fear, the worry, the anxiety, just release that and know everything's okay. And just breathe and be. Just breathe and be. Just breathe and be. Okay. Oh, I could just keep going on. I love you from the bottom of my heart. Yours. I'll see you soon. Bye.